Clock is ticking, Twilight. Clock is ticking. Sanguine grabbed the bleeding Charity by her mane and leapt out through the hole in the wall. I looked over at the struggling Glory and shouted over the din. "Lacuna! Get those off of her!" 5 words. 5 little words. Then I was off, racing through the rainy night towards the bridge as fast as my cyberpony legs could carry me. I didn't slow even as he did ahead of me, and he turned to face me. But I didn't let him get one word out before I tackled him away from the prone filly. Smashing and kicking with my metallic limbs, I drove him back. Pink vapor erupted from his mouth, but I knew that trick now. I held my breath and leaned my head away. It burned like nothing I'd ever felt before, but I couldn't worry about that as I kept moving him back away from his hostage. Glory landed and immediately put a healing potion to the filly's lips. "You fool! Give me the program!" he screamed in a maddened fury. "Only thing you get is mercy!" I shouted as I gave him one final apple buck that sent him flying across the word painted on the bridge. There was a glow from the wall, then a blinding flash, and Sanguine was reduced to so much ash and washed into the river. "And you don't even deserve that, you undead fuck." I limped back to where Glory was getting Charity to her hooves. "Took you long enough," the filly said, still a bit weakly. "I should be charging you a hero fine for taking so long." I came as fast as I could." Yeah, sorry. Not buying it. 500 caps." "Oh, come on," I whined. Glory smiled, and we trotted back towards chapel together. Yeah. Why hadn't I done that? I lay on my back on Marigold's bed, staring at the stars painted on her roof as I held the rarity figurine to my chest. Right this second, Sanguine was doing whatever nefarious thing he'd been planning. Some horrible monster in the hoof had woken up, and it was apparently my fault. Priest was rotting. Scotch was way more traumatized than she showed. P21 was in shock. Glory was trying to hold all of us together like a great big dysfunctional surrogate family. Even Rampage was badly hurt by the loss of Priest. What does it mean when the saddest one of us is the Alicorn, who's the depository for Celestia knows how many ponies' unhappy memories? I knew I shouldn't do this. I knew I should be talking with my friends, or working towards something, but not this. I couldn't help myself. I closed my eyes and sighed. I'd failed. That in itself wasn't anything new. In fact, I was quite the expert on screw-ups, fuck-ups, and various associated mistakes. But something about what had happened on that bridge bothered me in ways that failing to get out of hoof cuffs didn't. It was sticking with me, and I couldn't just shake it off. I lay there, knowing what I needed to do. It was just me having to get off this mattress and do it. But I couldn't. I needed to chase down Sanguine. I needed to be there for P21 and Rampage. I needed to make sure Scotch was okay. I needed to take some of the weight off Glory's shoulders. I was drowning in all the things that I needed to do, and all I did was shift on my side and curl up. I wanted the dealer to appear and say whatever I needed to hear to get moving again. I had to get moving again. Because, as I lay there, I felt my mind sinking into memories. Scoodle torn in two. Why hadn't I listened to her? Why hadn't I been more cautious? Going into tunnels and ignoring the risk. Why didn't we try and go around? Wait for Lacuna to fly or teleport us across. Convincing rivets. Stop the overmare. Failure was my special talent, and I was doing it just right. "Blackjack?" Glory said in her tiny voice. Brittle. I slowly lifted my head and saw her with a plate of blackened food. "I made you something, in case you were hungry." She trotted over slowly and put the charred sugar apple bombs and sparkle cola rad cakes on the mattress beside me. I suspected that the 4 forks were part of the meal. I closed my eyes and lay my head back down. "I'm sorry," Glory said softly behind me. "If I hadn't broken my rifle, you can't really snipe with a Gatling weapon, and he had the gun to her head." She finally went silent. "If I'd jumped when P-21 did, gone left instead of right, I wouldn't have gotten pinned. It's my fault." "Don't let her do this. Don't let her hurt herself. Hug her. Hold her. Tell her it was your fault. Try to make her laugh. Do something other than lie there. Move your ass and do something. Anything." But I couldn't. Sanguine had won. I'd lost. I might have saved Charity, but somehow I'd lost what I'd been fighting for. Somehow it torn all the guts from me and left me hollow. "I'm sorry," she repeated, then trotted from the room. I clenched my eyes shut. I knew I wouldn't sleep. I couldn't use my horn to get away with a memory orb. Every second, Sanguine was getting further and further away, and I was just lying here. "Move, you worthless piece of shit! People need you. People believe in you. Do it." I moved. I carefully pushed the plate into the garbage bin beside the bed, and then curled back up. I looked at the Rarity figurine. She seemed to understand wallowing in whatever ponies wallowed in. She had wanted a different life. Had things been different, would she have wed vanity? Become a mother? Been known for her fashion rather than for being a ministry mare? But she had done what she had to do. She'd toughed it out. I closed my eyes again, pressing my face into my pillow. What was I doing? Moping in my room? I wanted P-21 or Rampage to come in here and kick my ass. Get me off this bed. Get me moving again. Something. And then, as if reading my mind, I heard a soft knock followed by "Blackjack." Rampage's voice. I didn't even take a look at her. Things I should be doing right now. Not lying here. Helping my friends. Hunting down that murderous son of a bitch. Something. Every second I lay here, he was getting further away. Making new monsters. About to flee to Red Eye. Something. Get me up, Rampage. Get me drunk. Something. Anything. Instead, she stood there for the longest time, and then she closed the door again. I guess there were some things Rampage couldn't do after all. I curled up till my nose touched my hind knees. I felt like I had at start point, only not capable of blowing my brains out any longer. I didn't want to die. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to get off this bed and go do what I had to do. The Hoofington rain was pouring on the roof again. It was warm and dry, thanks to this gift from Priest. And here I was, moping and letting his killer get away. I thought of Dusty dying in my hooves, and how disgusted she would have been. What is wrong with me? I thought, as I clenched my eyes shut. Get up! Move your legs, you fucking loser! You fucking reject! You couldn't save Scootle. You couldn't save 99. You can't save any pony lying in bed, you dumbass! Move! Move! Go! Do what you have to do. Do it! Instead, I started to cry. It had been too much, too fast. Not just my arrival back in the hoof, but in Tenpony. And before that, on the boat. And then, when I was trying to stop a war because I only had a few weeks left to live. And the tunnel. P-21's suicide attempt. Star Point. For the last month, I'd been hit again and again. And no matter how horrible it was, I'd always felt like I was keeping on my hooves. Of all the things I'd been through, this was what broke me. A bed. Then the door opened for a third time, and I felt his eyes on me. I knew they were hard and scornful, hateful, even. I'd killed his lover and now lay there crying when I should be going after the pony who'd killed his second. Do whatever you have to do, P-21. Anything. Yell at me. Hit me. Shoot me. Blackjack. We're going after Sanguine in the morning, he said in a voice infinitely softer than I deserved. I just sniffed like a loser. I'm sorry. I keep thinking about what I should have done. I want him to hurt me. I knew the perfect line. Gee, Blackjack, keep thinking about what you should have done, too. Maybe, I don't know, not gotten the pony I loved killed. Again, that might have been a good idea. Perfect zinger right now. We all are, was what he actually said. He sat on the edge of the bed. Maybe he'd shove me off and beat me while he was at it. I hated myself so much that I'd beat myself if I could figure out how to move. Instead, he simply rested a hoof on my shoulder. You don't have to come with us. I froze, my eyes opening to stare at the wall. What? Scotch has your Delta Pip-Bug's tag. Lacuna's going over to the manor to soak up radiation to teleport us to Zenith Bridge to try and cut him off. And as soon as we get there, she's going to find Stronghoof, while Rampage rounds up whatever Reapers she can. We'll get it back. He patted my shoulder. Rest. We'll be back in no time. I shook under his hoof. I didn't think that I could tighten up any further. I'm sorry, P21. Come on, P21. I'm sorry too. Sorry you're a failure. Sorry I didn't realize how weak you were. Sorry I never appreciated what a fuck-up you are. Sorry you keep killing ponies I care about. Come on, P21, say it. Don't worry about it, he said, as he patted my shoulder again. Rest up. We can take care of one ghoul. Rest? Hadn't that been what Tenpony had been for? Or was that just an opportunity for me to make a jackass of myself? Talk to him. Speak, Blackjack. Tell him to drag you along. Tell him to beat you with a stick. Get out of bed. Instead, I closed my eyes. Sure. Damn it, P21. You promised. He left, closing the door behind him. Maybe he was right. Maybe without me charging in all the time, they'd be better off. Zodiac had given her organs to the wrong pony. My mental paralysis felt like my hate, and my hate fed my paralysis. I had to move. I had to act. But I'd just get them killed. Hurt. Because I was a fuck-up. A failure.